right questions and amazing answers. How are your interviewing skills? Those of us in media often find ourselves asking questions, either for an on-air program, a podcast, or for adding a prospective team member to our organization. Most of us have discovered that there is an art to the process and also a skill that can be learned. Someone asked me one time how many interviews I have done in my media career, which now spans over 55 years. I really haven't kept count, but I did an estimate one time. I've done over 20,000 interviews for radio and television. Some were brief 5-minute ones. Others were an hour or more. Most were live on the air. Others were recorded for editing. And while that does make me experienced, it doesn't necessarily make me an expert. But I have learned some things that I want to pass on to you. Here are a few tips for broadcast or podcast interviews. Number one, know your subject, both the topic to be discussed and the person you're interviewing. Also, have a specific angle you want to pursue. Don't offer the question ahead of time. You want the interview to be spontaneous. Here's another point. If there are some sensitive areas, you can alert the interviewee about the topic and the areas of discussion. That helps them get their mind wrapped around it. Also, put your interviewee at ease. Visit casually prior to the interview. I also want to add, be kind. Ambush questions in an interview rarely get good answers, and you stand a chance of the interview being tense and not very productive. Also, here's a basic one. Don't answer the question as you ask it. Isn't it true your organization went bankrupt last year? Well, the answer you're going to get is probably yes, or maybe no. Also, listen to the answer from your guest. It may lead to actually a better question than you planned. Stay in control of the interview. Don't let the interviewee hack the time or hijack it. It is your job to steer them back on the topic and keep them on track. And also have a good closing question. Finally, smile. It actually helps the interviewee feel more comfortable. Asking questions in job interviews and general conversation is also an art form. Yet we can learn a lot from those who use this technique often. My friend Bob Tiede has built a ministry around asking questions. It's called Leading with Questions. Bob says anyone can learn to lead with questions in about 30 seconds. He has 4 questions a person can ask staff or friends to get started. And you can memorize these easily. All right, so here are Bob's 4 questions. Number 1, what do you think? Number 2, what else? Number 3, what else? Number 4, what else? The idea, of course, is to get the other person talking, to hear their views, and probe deeper into what they think and why. I recall the questions Jesus posed during his ministry. You remember those? To his disciples, Jesus asked, "Who do the people say the Son of Man is?" After their responses, the Lord asked, "But who do you say I am?" That's in Matthew 16. Questions. Did Jesus not know? Of course the omniscient God knew, but it started his disciples thinking and allowed Simon Peter to make that amazing confession. You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. Matthew 16:16. The art of asking questions can be an amazing process and can yield amazing responses when used properly. So, what do you think about that? If you want to know more about this ministry and how it is building Christian media leaders around the world, visit our website, MEDIALLIANCE.cc. And you can help us grow the influence of the ministry by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video. Thank you so much, and God's best.